Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio on this pre-match show building up to an away tie for Rangers at Hibernian in the league. Joining myself, Oxford, on the show is old Billy, a late substitute. Evening, Billy.
Hiya, mate. How you doing, buddy? Always glad to help.
I called you David Fairclough. Fox called you Len Fairclough. I don't know who he was getting at there.
Len Fairclough, aye. Hey, you're right in your age here, brother.
Oh, my granda used to tell me about him. I think you've got the team for us, Billy.
I certainly have, mate. Status quo, buddy. It's McGregor in goals, Tavernier, Golston, Davies, Borna, Jack, Raskin, Cantwell, Fashion Sakala, Kent and Kolach. And the subs are McLaughlin, Lundstrom, Hadji, Matondo, Camara, Morelos, Wright, Arfield and Devine.
And the substitutes, he's took the boys out that got a bit of game time yesterday, obviously Big Suter, and he's let him build up his game time yesterday. Makes sense, mate. So basically the same starting 11. So what we're looking for, Billy, is the same first half performance and then the same performance in the second half. Not a lot, is it?
It's not a lot to ask, is it, buddy? It's not a lot to ask, mate. Aye, that would be good tonight. As long as we start the game, correctly, mate, I'm sure we'll be fine. But if we can put the first half performance in, if we did it the weekend and match that or better it in the second half, then there shouldn't be a problem, Ox.
Okay, can I just clarify a wee mix-up that happened last night in the show when we read out the Gary Stevens fight? Just to put Fox's mind at rest, it was a total misunderstanding. He put a story in concerning Neville Southall, who was one to raise money, potential friendly Rangers Everton, to help out Gary Stevens' foundation to help raise funds for his boy who passed away. I read the thing that Fox said out. I didn't read the full article that was there. So apologies to Fox, a total misunderstanding, and hope that possibly that game goes ahead in the future to raise funds for a worthy cause. Billy, I don't think a lot of people were shocked at the same team again. I'll maybe have a look, mate, quickly and see if I can see if he's played the same team twice in a row, mate. Michael Beale.
I don't know, mate, but it's I know it's only 2 games, mate, if it is, but I believe it is so. But if it is that, then it's certainly it's the start of a good habit, because when you've got a settled 11 on the park, I believe that the football starts to get better, and the energy, the confidence, the football, the passing, everything all gets better when you've got a starting 11 on the park, mate, week in, week out.
Is it relationships? That's Mrs. Billy. You get better as the more you practice, you know what I mean?
Aye, mate, well, that's quarter of a century, buddy. Quarter of a century, so I must be doing something. Well, no, I was going to say I must be doing something right. Mrs. Billy must be doing something right.
So, your relationships, mate, you get to know people, you build, people make runs, you know what they're looking for. It sounds so simple, but you don't know it unless you play with somebody.
That's right. It's all about understanding one another's games, isn't it? It's the same way when you're starting the centre halves. If you play a settled back four, then the settled back four get to understand one another. They know who to pick up and who to move on. And it's the same over the park. And you can start for your goalkeeper to get right up to your number 9. The 2 wingers or the front 3, whatever formation the Rangers want to play, they get to know one another's trademark runs. For talking sake, the striker will come short, he'll peel off, he'll go short, he'll make wee hand signals, different things like that, and the wingers pick up on it, and then it all becomes telepathic, Ox.
Aye, it comes. Listen, I think some of your things are spot on there. I think there's a difference between training and playing in matches, mate. You know, we can all look good with Ray Cones, you know.
Aye, if Cones didn't move about the park and shuffle you and crack you, didn't you know? No, that's entirely correct. I mean, you can obviously you've got to show in training that you're doing well and you're working hard in training, you're doing all the things correctly that you're getting asked to do. But when it's on the park, that's when it counts, because there's different things will happen within a game. In 90 minutes, as you well know, Ox, you know what I mean? Things change, shapes change, formations change. Your opposing manager makes different decisions to try and outfox your manager. So we've got to be ready for all these things.
Here. I think I've got the opposition team. Marshall, Hanlon, Cadden, Hope. Is that Hope? Oh, I've read it right. Hope, Jeggo, Stevenson, Henderson, Ewan, Fish, Egan, Riley, and Campbell, and Nisbet. Boy, we've talked about a bit is on the bench. I don't really know much about Hibs, mate. I'm guilty of not looking at the other teams, mate. I'm consumed by the Rangers, bizarrely, mate.
I'm exactly the same. I'm just looking at what kind of format they'll set up as well. Probably the same as Rangers. Maybe a 4-2-3-1, and it can slip into a 4-5-1 type thing. They'll have the two sitters as well. I would imagine. So that's I don't really pay too much attention to what kind of formation other teams play either. I'm more interested in what we do in the park than any other. To be perfectly honest with you, buddy.
Yeah. I still say this with the squad of players we've got and the performances I've showed in the past. Is we play as a team. We beat every team in Scotland, but we've got to play, Billy.
I know, Ox. That's what's the frustrating thing's been, buddy. When we know what we're capable of playing football, you know, that's what we see, you know, and that's what frustrates the life out of us, because we know when we turn it on, we can turn it on, and we're a match handsome for everybody else, you know. The best thing tonight is, mate, as long as we go there and start properly and do what we're meant to do our individual jobs and collectively work hard as a team. Because listen, Hibs their tails will be up. They'll be up for a game against us. Like, you know what they're like. It's a cup final every team bar when they play against Glasgow Rangers. So it'll not be any different tonight.
People join us all the times, Billy. Can you give us a team, mate?
Yes, certainly, buddy. It's McGregor, Tavernier, Golson, Davies, Borna, Jack, Raskin, Cantwell, Fashion, Kent, and Kolach, or Cholach, as I keep getting corrected. And
it's your camera one I keep hearing, mate. It's Kamara.
And the subs are Kamara Sortry. Okay, mate, no problem. The subs are McLaughlin, Lundstrom, Hadji, Matondo, Camara, Morelos, Wright, Arfield, and Devine.
Well, wait, you know something? I never noticed Matondo sneaking in there the first time round. People will be talking about that.
Did you know? But when I actually seen the team coming out, I checked the subs. I says, well, he's went the same way as he did at the weekend, and I always thought he was going to do that anyway. But when I seen Matondo in there as well, I went, I was a wee bit surprised. So there you go, eh?
Matondo for shooter. Maybe he's fun a position for Matondo centre half.
Aye, possibly.
You know, but aye. Well, I'm surprised at that, mate. I'm surprised. Obviously, his injuries disappeared. No comment.
Well, there you go. There's plenty of options in the bench there. That look. I mean, when you look at it, you would say you've got. All right, you could say Lundstrom is coming back for injury. Hadji's obviously been out long term. Matondo, as you rightly said there, Camara as well is carrying an injury. Scott Wright, he's obviously got a new comb. Arfield's coming back for injury as well. So, but even looking at that, it's still a strong bench, Ox, isn't it?
Only thing I would say is there's no natural centre halves there. If something happened, Lundstrom would have to give you the cover.
Yeah,
I've always done that before. That would be the only thing. I mean, it's an attacking bench with Morelos, Matondo, Arfield, Hadji. Right, they're all guys, Matondo, all guys who might get forward. But look, hopefully we win the game and play like we did in the first half. All right, we've been joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
Hey, Paul. Hey, you.
All right, mate. How's it going, mate?
The boys, I think these are winning.
Good man, good man. What do you think the score will be, mate?
4-1 to Rangers.
4-1. What do you think of the team? Have you heard the team, Robert?
I heard it just now. I think it's a good team, mate.
Same team as Saturday, mate. You happy with that?
I think we'll 1-4-1.
Oh, I hope he's right, Billy boy. In you come, Billy.
Hi, Robert. How you doing, pal? Actually, all right, buddy. I've got a wee sneaky feeling that could be the scoreline myself. I fancied 4-1 myself, so I hope both of us are right. Do you think? How do you think the game will go early doors, Robert?
I think we'll win it, Billy.
You think so? Good stuff, mate. Well,
We've got to win it, Billy. We've got to beat Celtic. That's where I see it.
I've said that in the show a few times, Robert. It doesn't matter if we're playing Celtic at football or anything else, tiddlywinks, drafts, darts or cricket or anything. We always want to beat Celtic, don't we?
Right. I think
I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, Billy. I'm going to my usual South Side bet that I put on, which is the donation of the bookies. Because of you, I'm going to quickly get in contact and put a bet on 4-1 just for you, mate. All right?
That's sound. Are you putting the tenner in, Ox?
Grand, mate. Grand.
Well,
Right.
listen, I'll tell you what, Dave. That comes up. We'll get to our charity, Ox. How's that?
All right. Cheers,
I
Robert.
think you should.
We'll do that just for you, mate. All right, mate. Good to speak to you. You look after yourself. Good. 4-1. We'll go for that, mate. Great to hear from Robert. I hope his bet starts, eh?
Aye, listen. As I said the other night there, Ox, I was sitting looking at the different score lines and how many goals Hibs have conceded and how many goals they're scoring and what roughly is average the goals that we're scoring. And I just thought to myself, I says, you know this? I says, I wouldn't say we maybe keep a clean sheet because we're playing away from him, but I fancied all 4-1, so but that's what I fancy tonight. I've not even looked at a price for it, Ox, yeah.
Oh, we maybe get it. Somebody's coming in who knows how to give donations. Evening, Andrew.
Good evening, Ox. Good evening, Billy.
Hi, Andy.
How you doing? Same team. I can see that to your fashion right enough. What I'm liking to see tonight, or hoping to see, is that we play like slightly up on what we did in the first half and take it into the second half, and whoever that team 2 games in a row can, play both halves, at a good standard. That's what I'm looking for tonight. I took 4-0 and 4-1, by the way, as well.
What price did you get for 4-1, Andy? Just out of curiosity.
I got 22s, nothing. Nothing. I was surprised right enough because we're not really rattling the goals. I thought I might have got a bigger price right enough, but that's what it is, isn't it?
It's a wee bit of fun, mate. A wee bit of fun.
Aye, I only stuck a $5 on it right enough. Like I said, it comes in, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? It just gets me a couple of other bottles of vodka.
You're the only man that's better if it doesn't start, you know what I mean?
Aye, well, there you go. But yeah, we can sort of, go to 2 halves. They're going to come at us because we know that's what they do. So maybe that might be better. Them having a go at us, like the Hearts game and all that. We seem to play well. I would say when we do play, or we kind of play, when we play the teams that really don't kind of stand us, we do sometimes up it. And we are far better if we do that. But it's what Rangers turns up, isn't it? Just a nice good score, a nice good set up for the quarter final. That's what I'm looking for. hopefully get up and get it done. You know what I mean? I'd like to see, as I said on Saturday we played, I'd like to see Cole get a couple of goals, because I think he played really well there, and in that last game there. So if he could just get off on that, he looked way fitter and more alert in that last game than he has done in the cameos he's played before. And is this him phasing Morales out?
Maybe, mate. Maybe it's a fair shout, mate. You don't know about relationships. I mean, obviously, Alfie came off and was disappointed when he came off, and I thought rightly so when they set in the final. But maybe Beale's want to move on. If you don't know the talks that's going on, maybe they'll shoot guns. And you never know, Billy. We don't hear everything, but Andy could be right, or he just wants Morelos to get a bit fitter and maybe rest him, because he did play a long run of games. We don't know, Billy.
That could be a number of things as well, as you rightly said there, Oxshire. It could be, you know what I mean. He thinks that Alfie could be doing with maybe just losing a few extra pun or no, or he's just wanting to rest him, or even if he's maybe the formation that he's set up, the way he's wanting to play, he's obviously he's maybe thinking along the lines that Kovac will suit that formation better. So it could be a number of things, but to be honest with you, I think, and it's to go back to what we were talking about earlier before the Andy coming on there, it's healthy competition as well, because it's keeping Morelos and it's keeping Kovac on their toes, fighting for that jersey, and whatever one's got it, when they start to score goals, it's up to the other one to try and take it off them, and that's the bottom line.
Billy, people join us all the time, mate. Can you give us the team quickly, mate, and the substitutes?
Yeah. The team starting 11 is McGregor, Tavernier, Golson, Davies, Borna, Jack, Raskin, Cantwell, Fashion, Kent, Cholak, and the subs are McLaughlin, Lundstrom, Hadji, Matondo, Camara, Morelos, Wright, Arfield, Devine.
I'm not surprised, the same team for last week. I'm looking forward to seeing Cantwell again, Andy.
Yeah, like I said on Monday there, I thought he was on the edge in the first half, but I thought he had a cracking game in the second half. And I think he's going to come in for a bit of stick, because we know what it's like up the road, but he does seem to be, there's no rolling about or any antics there. He just seems to want to get straight back up and get back into the action. So that's encouraging, I do like him. I didn't realise it was him for Norwich that played well against Man City there a couple of years ago. But, I think he'll be all right, and I think we've got to get Raskin pumped a wee bit more, get him fitter, because I think he'll be all right. I think he'll do okay for us. He reminds me of? I mean, I know people making. He reminds me of a wee Gattuso.
You been at the Globe?
Raskin. He reminds me of Gattuso.
I'm talking about Cantwell.
Oh, I skipped a bit of there then. Wait a minute, there's a couple of vodkas kicking in here. Billy knows now. He knows what I'm like in the WhatsApp feed, so he knows I can go from one to another in 2 seconds.
I could not, Andy. I said in the show a number of weeks ago when we signed Cantwell and Raskin, when I was sitting watching the two of them, especially Cantwell, and I stuck my head right on the chopping block, and I says that's going to be a player and a half for the Rangers, and he's only getting better and better as the weeks go by. I wouldn't suggest the boy is right up to speed yet, fitness wise, and i.e. we playing over the 90 minutes type thing, but he's certainly coming on and on and on with every game he plays, and I love his all-round football, and I love what I noticed when I first watched him was his work ethic, and he worked so hard off the ball. It wasn't just when he was going to collect the ball, he was working hard off the ball, and he was pulling players all over the place, and listen, I think me and Oxshire spoke about it as well, and other boys in the show as well. He's a wiry character as well, and he's no fear to get fired in. You know what I mean? And he'll go and win the ball as well, and he can play, and he's got great vision and a lovely touch as well, and he's always on the move. So, I mean, players like that are worth their weight in gold. At any football team, like, you know, if you've got that kind of ability playing in your team. So the further this guy goes on, this young laddie goes on playing with us, and the fitter he's going to get, and it'll be more beneficial in the long term for the Rangers, which can only be good.
Yeah, I totally agree, Billy. That's what I like about him. You know, the way he gets straight back up and all that, and he's willing to, you know, get himself about, and that's very refreshing early doors. Now, you see, he's got to get his fitness up and all that. I think you'll get the real benefit of him next season, as I do with the other one that's coming, Raskin. They're the two part of a team going forward, the new Rangers, aren't they, for want of another word, because, you know, we're hoping that they work. I think they will. And then we've had some more good players around them, and whoever he's going to keep, then we start coming. But I'm shocking us, but I'm going to try and stay positive to the end of the season. We'll see what happens if we don't win the cup and all that. But I'm just going positive at the minute. Like, you know, just got it. I'm sick of mupping my gums about it and getting myself worked up, to be honest with you. You know, we've just got to try and go forward and work.
I'm just phoning an ambulance as you speak.
Aye. Yeah, I think even our Shugs is quite. What's up with you? You're very calm. I get my points across, but there's only so much you can do, and I think I've done enough of that over the last couple of years.
I feel really sorry for that Shug, Billy.
What's that, Ox? Sorry, I never caught that, mate.
I feel really sorry for that Shug.
Oh, that's Andy. That's a good point to make about Raskin as well, regarding his fitness as well, because we've got to remember he hadn't a lot of game time before he signed with Rangers. So the laddie's got to get up to speed as well. So, but one thing that we can all see as well, we're asking, he can play as well. He's definitely a football player. And he's always wanting to hit a forward pass. He's not wanting to go sideways a lot. You know, he's always got his head up all the time. He's always looking for the ball in tight areas. And as I said, he can pick a pass. What do you think his attributes are as well, as far as what you've seen, Andy?
Raskin?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like you say, he doesn't seem to have a want to go backwards. He's no negative. He's wanting to go forward most of the time. And I think as he picks up the pace of Scottish football, I think he's going to be very tigerish. That's just my opinion, you know. I mean, it's hard to judge just at the moment. I said him one day, kind of concerned when he's tired who the guys just romp past him, you know. So he will have to toughen and wise up to that. But I think it's purely down to game time, and I think that manager that had him there as well was messing him about a bit, wasn't he? Because he was adamant at the back end that he wanted to come to Rangers. So,
judge him on the first half performance. He got about the pitch. He ran out of legs. The if you like, the nervous energy went. So hopefully he's had that game under his belt. He's a couple more days training. He's got more into it. He's a bit fitter. Mm-hmm. And we'll see more minutes out of him tonight. And arguably he might even get a rest at the weekend. You know?
Is that a Sunday game, or a Saturday game?
Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, it'll be on that dodgy channel, wouldn't it? No. What is it, the Irish channel that puts them out, doesn't it? Used to be Santana, isn't it? Is it them that's covering it?
Yeah. There is other channels available. So we're going to set up the same way, and it'll be interesting to see Cantwell when he gets more space if a team comes at us, Billy.
Yep, that's right. But what we were just talking about there as well, his work ethic. Sorry, excuse me, I've got Fox's teeth in. His work ethic. That's what the laddie's good at as well. So I'm sure he'll if need be, Ox, and he's asked to track back and go with runners, he'll certainly not be wanting for that, like, you know.
Aye. We'll see. He's building up. He's getting into it. We'll give him games. He looks as if he's got potential. And I get what you're saying about Gattuso because of the guy's stature and that. Andy. I wondered where you were coming with Cantwell, but...
Yeah, you should know me by now. I just bounce from one to another. I've got no filter that way.
I've just had a text for Mr. AK, and he said you're wasting your time trying to educate him.
Oh, well, that's okay. He's been playing with his balls all week, hasn't he, for his international, like, you know what I mean? Hope he don't peak too early.
Andy, I think at the weekend, I don't know what your thoughts are at the weekend. I know, obviously, we had a brilliant first half. We're 3-0 up and we're cruising. I think it was a bit... I understand that Raskin is no 100% fit, but I thought that in the second half we sort of I don't know if that was what I'm trying to say is I don't know if they maybe just took it for granted that the game was won and that we were sitting after them and letting them come on and tap us at the weekend. So I don't know what you thought there.
Yeah, well, that's been a problem with Rangers all over the years, even with the good teams. You know, they'll go and punish you, but if we get 2 or 3 goals up, we sit on it and play about. And that game was tailor-made there. I think they did put the tools away a wee bit. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And obviously not working out the Kilmarnock change in the formation was a worry. Yep. But I think that was tailor-made, wasn't it? Let's be honest, to go and get a few goals. You know, we had them on the rack. The second half, you've done your first 45 minutes. So you look in your any second half, if you're playing, particularly you're playing well, you look to up your game, really pile it on. That's been a trait with Rangers all over the years, Billy. You'll know yourself, been around long enough. They get that 2 or 3 up, and we've done this game. We'll start, messing passing about and all that. And it's left us, even when we had good teams, very disappointing because we've had teams on the rack and not taking them out. We're not clinical enough. It seems to be a trait we've had over the years. But I've got a feeling we'll win tonight. I'm not sure what score like, but I think this could be a good game.
Mm-hmm. But I agree as well, Andy.
I hope you're right there, Andy. Listen, I mean, this team under Beale, the league form, let's pack 10 days ago, the league form is superb. The run of results we've had in the league is fine. Obviously, the performances is a different thing, Billy.
Aye, of course it is. I mean, I think it's about building up a consistency, Ox, in all competitions. And obviously, when you do that, that's when you start to win more trophies. But you're right, the consistency in the league has been okay so far, apart from the blip against Celtic. So it's more of the same. If you ask me, I was just actually looking next year there. The goals that we've scored. The last time we took 4 goals off a team was on the 29th of October, and that was the Sheep. And the time before that, it was St Mirren at Ibrox. I think that's, and then Hearts. So we've scored 4 goals 5 times this season, which is not a bad shout. But regarding we putting teams to bed, I'm like Andy. I want to see teams, Rangers going for the jugular and scoring 4 and 5 goals when we can, when we've got a chance. Like for the perfect opportunity there was at the weekend. We were 3-0 up at half time. I was looking for another couple of goals in the second half, but we didn't do it. But we need to be more close.
This is different. This is a different game. If we went nothing up at half time and it petered out and we won 3-1 comfortably, like we ultimately weekend, Easter Road, I'd take that.
I'll take a bridge man tonight. I'll take a 1-0. I mean, Hibs, they've hit a wee bit of form now as well. So they have. So I mean, I don't think I'll just do a wee quick swatch here, Dave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hibs have not been beat in 5 games. The last time they get beat was against Hearts in the Scottish Cup. So, and they're not conceding a lot of goals, Ox. They're only conceding like one goal a game in the last 4 games.
Are you telling me, Billy, they're a better team since Porteous disappeared?
Well, it certainly looks that way because they've certainly got their defence sorted out. Because, as I said, they're only conceding an average of 1 goal a game, and that's in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So maybe that 4-1 we were talking about will maybe not be 4-1. It maybe be a 1-0.
It's a different kind of place to go historically. You know, if we put a performance like We're the Peace, Andy, like we did on Saturday, went 3-0 up at half time and the game petered out, I'd take that because it's
I'd take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a heartbeat you'd take that. It's a different game and what it is. I mean, I can't stand them right Olliers right enough. You know, they're no better, they're no worse than the other mob. You know But it's a shame, really, because I'm just thinking there, right enough. You look across the season, like, say, Billy, we did, 4-0 against St Johnstone at the start, and, we were getting 2 or 3 goals caught. It was on fire. If you look at, for as bad as we've been, it's that bloody 3-game period, St Mirren, Livingston and St Johnstone. It could have been also different, couldn't it? 1 clutch of games, and it's blew it for her, And that's quite annoying, isn't it, more than else? It's annoying. I mean, you mind just St Mirren the 1 each game. Ashog said to me at half time when we were mumping about Morales not putting his hat into it. He said to me at half time, I remember, he said, he'll get booked straight after half time. He's not interested. And he was right. And it was, them kind of attitudes and in certain games where we should have taken them home. They just upped it, mind the hindsight, and all that. We can't change what's gone. We're talking about tonight, haven't we? So I kind of waffling a bit, so let's get on with it tonight.
Aye, they games sort of, I wouldn't say they killed us, but I think the general attitude or the way we were starting, I wouldn't say the general attitude, maybe that's a misplaced word, but I think the way we were starting games back then, we had a lot to do with it because we were giving teams a goal at a start, Andy. And then when you start giving teams a goal at a start, they can start dictating what way the game should go regarding sitting in or what kind of style of football they'll want to play. And then you're huffing and puffing and you've got to try and break them down. And that's when I thought that's where the problem was, because you can't keep giving teams a goal at a start, because it puts the pressure on you right away.
Yeah. I think we needed a change. I don't know. Ultimately, some people might have a view it was very harsh in Gio. I think it looked as if it was time up because the relationship has broken. And unfortunately, in football, Andy, the manager always carries a can. But that's gone now. And we have to keep winning games of football. Traditionally, a hard place to go to. I'll be interested to see what we think of Raskin after the night, Andy.
Well, that's the one that's intriguing me tonight, right enough. Like you say, he's getting a couple of training sessions under his belt, to adjust Scotland and the conditions and weather and all that, right enough, and he's to get used to all that. But I'm not worried about him putting it in, the first half starting, because all players on both sides start from scratch. It's then you then work into the game who's going to stand out or who's, doing this or doing that. So I'm not worried about him starting. It would be nice if he does play well and then he can take it on into 20 minutes into the second half. Maybe he had a real good 70 minutes and he looks retiring and Bale says, right, come on, get him off. There's another good 70 minutes under our belt. I would personally play, I hope, after tonight's game, I hope that Cantwell and Raskin, I hope they both play the full 90 minutes in the Scottish Cup game as well. I think it's essential that we get as much game time into their legs going forward, because we've still got to try and win this cup, and they two could be very, very vital if we do get the final this time, So that's the way I'm kind of looking. I'm kind of looking at them, watching what they're up to now, seeing who's really up for it and who's not. I think the major problem we all know is that a lot of them know they're going, and that's the problem we've got on each individual game when they turn out, in my opinion.
Funny enough, I'm the complete opposite. I think if we get a performance out of Raskin, Canberra night, we win the game. You might not see them start of the weekend, Billy.
Well, listen, I've jumped in the Andy boat with this one as well, and just for the sole reason, it's just about getting more minutes into their legs and getting a good 90 under their belt, which can only be good for both of the two of them. Ox, that's my only issue regarding the two of them starting. Sorry, if they didn't start, obviously they wouldn't be able to get that 90 minutes into their legs. But I want the two of them to start on Sunday as well, and just to give them more game time.
I get that, I understand that, but it depends how they come out in the night's battle. But interesting, let's get the night out of the way. So, how do you think it's going to pan out tonight, Billy boy?
Oh, I think it'll be. I think it'll be like a cup tie. Oxford, that's what I think it will. I think they've got to come out. They've got to come out and they'll have a go at us. That's what Hibs do. They'll be well up for it. As I said, they're sky high in confidence in who. They've no lost I think they've won the back of 4 wins and a draw or something like that. So their tails will be up as well. So they're playing at home. They'll come out and they'll have a go at Rangers. And listen, if they want to come out and have a go at Rangers, let them have a go at Rangers. Because I believe that when teams come out and try and play football against us, it brings the best out in us. And if it brings the best out in us, there's only got to be one winner tonight.
Andy?
Well, as I said, I've gone 4-0, 4-1 in a daft one, but I think we'll come out at 2-1. If we get a couple of goals in the first half, it wouldn't surprise me if it was 3-1 as well. But I think we'll win a tight one. But I think, as Billy said there again, I think it'll be a cup tie kind of game. This. I think the two of them are going to go at each other. Hopefully, they come out. We usually see the best of Rangers, don't you? So we'll go for the latter and hope that that's the case as far as we're concerned. Not really bothered about them and how many games they've known. I didn't even know they were on a 5-game run because I just look at Rangers and where I felt after the cup game. I wasn't really aware of what was doing, who was doing anything in the league. But obviously they've turned the form round because the last time I can remember they were getting spanked to a few teams. So it will be interesting tonight. But we know they could be bottom of the league, and let's be honest with you. They still have a right good goal. That's just the nature of the beast up the road. So we've just got to man up and show them that we're Rangers and we are the team and not to worry about them. Get the result. We'll win tonight, yeah.
It'll be a big educational for the new signings, but they've got a lot of experience running about them.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to win. We hope we're going to win. And we will know shortly, Billy boy.
Well, it's only 20 minutes to kick off, so I'm sure the players will be buzzing for the game. The supporters are up for it. Fans are up for it, whatever you want to call us. We're all up for it in here, so I can't wait. Bring it on, Ox. Bring it on, buddy.
You just have to go and play. We just have to go and play, Andy. Play what we know we can. Get the ball down. Play, pass and move. What we've done in the first half, and we will win.
Yeah, listen, you know, these are the games that he tends to pump himself up for, Bale, doesn't he? You know, when he likes the Hibs comes round, the Aberdeen comes round, obviously the filth and all that didn't go right, but he seems to have that, I will say, that kind of glint in his eye when he wants to play these. He seems to, from what I'm saying, I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but he seems to be intrigued about going to these teams away from him and laying a marker on them. Now, that's a good attitude to have. You know, any Rangers manager or fan of them, we should always have that attitude. But I do like that in him. I will say that I've got my reservations about him at times, but he does seem to have a twinkle in his eye for wanting to go to these places and do them. So hopefully he gets another result tonight. And I think we can. Look, like you say, we only critique only games that have been behind. They're behind us now. We've got to go forward. and we've got to try and salvage the season. And as I said to you on Saturday, see where I'm standing? I asked it to win all the games as best they could. Well, I'm going for my second one tonight. So I've got my first one done. So let's see if I can get my second one.
Okay. Listen, thanks to your good self, Andy. Thanks to
no problem. Enjoyed it.
Robert, who phoned in earlier on, and of course, Billy. Thanks to Fox for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back 15 minutes after the final whistle. Take it away, old school. Foxy boys, sorry.